What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with an update from Rubiel Mosuqera, who is now a little more than 4 weeks out of his first show of the season, which is of course gonna be Dubai Pro. So him doing those single arm dumbbell curls, and how freaking huge his arms looking right now. The angle reminds us of the great Rolly Winkler when he was training in the Oxygen Gym Kuwait. So that unreal freak factor is just off the chart. And I have to say, it seems like his upper body is gonna catch up to his lower half sooner than expected. And the sooner it does, the more he will become a threat to many big names in the men's open bodybuilding. So both Rubiel Mosuqera and Breon Ansley are prepping for Dubai Pro. And if we compare the conditioning of both these guys at this point, they look very comparable. And that is a great sign for Rubel, because Breon is always shredded top to bottom. And he is one of the most consistent guys, especially in terms of peaking for any show that he enters. So Chris Cormier being there in person, making these guys go through rounds and rounds of posing, that is gonna make one hell of a difference on the stage. Because Breon, as we all know, he's a master of posing and presentation. Of course, it is gonna be his 9th consecutive year doing this on the stage. So we all expect to see him at his absolute best here in Dubai. And that is really gonna help Rubiel Mosuqera, having 2 veterans in his corner. And we have to keep in mind, he is only doing his 2nd show, and he needs to get better. So it is great to see him practicing that 3-collar back pose with Breon over and over again. So Rubiel is obviously gonna be the most muscular guy on that stage. I think we can all agree no one is gonna be able to outmuscle Rubiel Mosuqera. And it is always so exciting to see a mass monster milk such a classic pose, and that too so smoothly. Now with Behrooz Tabani beating Neckzilla at this past Flex Pro Italy. That too with the perfect scores. It is really logical to think that this new and improved version of Rubiel Mosuqera, he's gonna be the one fighting Behrooz Tabani for the title here. And I have to say, these two are 2 totally different physiques. So it is gonna be an awesome show. And Rubel's side shots, as we all know, they are gonna be competitive against Neckzilla and Behrooz Tabani. And they can be competitive against anyone for that matter, because he arguably has one of the best side shots in the men's open right now. So do let me know what you guys think. Can Rubiel Mosuqera win this show? Next up, we have 16 weeks out physique update of classic physique Olympia champion Chris Bumstead. And it seems like that this year that is just different for Chris, because he started his prep so early during the season, and he himself has stated this multiple times, that he was extremely conscious about his diet throughout this year, which was very unlike of Chris Bumstead, because usually he takes a lot of time off from dieting, from training, from everything. So him committing to eating clean throughout the year, that has allowed him to stay relatively lean even in the off-season, while making some significant improvements. So as of right now, for 16 weeks out, he looks really great. And his commitment throughout this off-season, plus the mindset that he wants everyone to remember 2024 as the year when Chris Bumstead brought his absolute best, that I believe is gonna pay off in the form of a very dominating win, especially if he stays injury-free over these next few months. Because the thing is, he has been facing those injuries for the past couple of years now. So it has been a very long career for Chris Bumstead already. He has been competing at the top level since 2017. And all the credits to him on making improvements one year after another. Because I don't think his 2019 version, when he won his first ever Miss Olympia title, that would be a winning physique in this current era. And that just goes to show us how much classic physique has evolved, and how much Chris Bumstead has evolved with it. I mean, he is the standard of classic. And if all these guys were able to take him out last year, when he was struggling with a latier during the prep, when he wasn't at his 100%, how is anyone going to beat him when he is at his absolute best? Next up, we have an update from the Iranian phenomena, Behrooz Tabani, the winner of Flex Pro Italy. So I don't think any of us would be surprised if Behrooz Tabani also wins this Dubai Pro in July. And realistically speaking, he is the favorite to win this show. But the problem remains the same. Until some miracle happens, this guy won't be able to compete at this upcoming Miss Olympia for the 3rd year in a row. Because so far there has been zero progress in terms of his visa problems. And his coach Mosar just confirmed that. We keep on saying that hopefully this is the year that we are gonna see Behrooz Tabani on that big stage. But unless the team around him do something totally different, I'm not very hopeful that things are gonna change for him. And that is truly a heartbreaking situation for Behrouz, because he tried applying for the US visa from Dubai last year, but still the man got no positive response. But props to him and also Mosar because these guys keep on prepping for these shows when they are very uncertain whether they are gonna make it to the stage or not. So this year Behrooz Tabani is making a big name for himself. He's putting himself out there, doing multiple shows. He just beat Nathan Dieta at his very best. And that was a big statement that this guy is capable of cracking top 10 at his Olympia debut in any kind of lineup. And it was really close between him and William Bonac at Emperor Classic Spain. So I am sure Behrouz is gonna do everything in his power to win this upcoming Dubai Pro, regardless of where he stands with the visa process. The reigning Miss Olympia Derek Lunsford was invited to accept a key ceremony at the Las Vegas Strip. A true moment of honor and gratitude for him, as only one man who is currently at the top of the sport has been given such a prestige. So Derek isn't only the reigning Miss Olympia, he's the first man in the history of bodybuilding to win the Olympia title in 2 different divisions, in the Open as well as in the 212. And I am sure he is going to do everything in his power to win multiple Miss Olympias. So the great Ronnie Coleman was the first one to predict that he sees Derek as the next Miss Olympia. And if you guys remember, he predicted it when Derek was prepping for 2022, his first ever men's Open Olympia. But he fell short just by a little bit that year. But last year he was able to create history. So looking forward to this year's show, as the event is becoming bigger and bigger with each passing year. So we have seen a record increase in the prize money for the athletes in 2024. So the future of bodybuilding looks really bright. Lastly, we have a physique update from Beef Stu on his road to Van Pro, which is going to be his 3rd show of the year. So the Stu that we saw at this year's Neo Pro, if he brings that same version here in Van Pro, and his team around him do not mess up his tan, I think he's going to be extremely dangerous here, and he has a legitimate shot at winning this show. So Stu was top 4 at this year's Neo Pro, and ideally he should have been the one fighting with Tony Burton for the title at California Pro as well. But I have to say he wasn't as good at the California Pro as he was at the Neo Pro. Plus his stand was just way too bad, and that is why he dropped down to 4th place. Now I'm not saying that was the only reason, but his tan color did play a major role in him not placing high. So Stu has made some very impressive improvements in the last 1 year, from 2023 to 2024. And if we look back at some of his initial shows when he just turned pro, he is altogether a different bodybuilder now. So Van Pro is gonna be another awesome show. All of these guys who are gonna be in the first call out, they have the ability to win this show. And actually any one of these guys can win this show. Unless of course Hassan Mustafa brings his absolute best. And interestingly, except for Hassan Mustafa, all the other guys who are probably gonna be in the first call out, Stu, John, Stan, Tim, they are looking for their first pro win. So do let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys have winning here in Van Pro? And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.